But since Combs has officially been charged and he's locked up behind bars, there have been a lot of videos that have been surfacing, particularly on Grid in the beginning, but not anymore. It's been rumored that Sean Combs might be a member, but he's not. Tom, first let's start there. When you're interviewing somebody like this, who allegedly just
Pinky and Will Smith, you told me before that she was at a party before that they attended, and you said it was weird.
It's just a lot of weird shit, dude. You know what I'm saying?
I like when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, when you put my bag
Daddy,
in,
I like when you scrambling and scraping for shit.
That was you. Scrambling. What? You said, I like when you do it like that, Daddy. When you scrambling and scraping for shit. Hey, man.
Only a man knows what a man needs.
It was just a lot of weird shit going on, you know what I'm saying? The vibes ain't there. I guess that's what Tupac was talking about, the Illuminati and shit. It's like Vivica Fox was with this big gay man. He was 6'9". They called him, his name 6'9". He had the red hair with a big old booty and shit. Nobody was gay no more. What the fuck is going on here? It's just a lot of weird shit, dude. You know what I'm saying? That shit, it ain't right.
Will Smith and Jada tried to pick her up on a threesome and you were gonna beat up Will Smith. Is that true?
Will Smith being gay and having gay relations with, who was it with?
Diddy.
I know, right?
I'm here to set the record straight and let you know what happened in my marriage. And my marriage ended not over any infidelity. I didn't find Will in bed with a man. I didn't find him in bed with a woman. It just didn't happen. And Will was straight in 1992, and he's straight in 2016. So, you know, that just kind of is what it is. However, our marriage ended because we were so young. We were the same age then as our son is now.
They're both bisexual. They do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills, Bashir Gray, left that house fucking screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed a dog.
I know Puff so well that he stood up. When he stood up, he walked and did his own some kind of way, like, and then he went like this, you know, like, and I went over towards him. I know to go over there towards him. So I go over towards him, and he said to me, he said, yo, I think Will and Jada is trying to scoop up Jennifer.
Names dropping like hotcakes, and this Diddy drama is everywhere. Now, if you thought you'd heard it all, hold on to your hats, because the latest name thrown into the mix is none other than Will Smith. And trust me, it ain't what you think. The tea's spilling here. Rumor has it that Diddy and Will have been in a steamy freak-off for years.
You were dating J-Lo. Will Smith and Jada tried to pick her up on a threesome and you were gonna beat up Will Smith. Is that true?
And baby, it's as wild as it sounds. With all this Diddy chaos, some old allegations against Will Smith are resurfacing, and honey, it's messy. For years, whispers have floated around about Will's alleged relationships with men. Now that this drama's back in the spotlight, folks are connecting the dots between Will and Diddy like it's a puzzle. And let me tell you, it got so out of hand that a paparazzi actually confronted Jada about it. Can you imagine the look on her face? The rumors are running wild and the streets are talking.
What do you say about the allegations? There's like, you know, like so many rumors. Anything you want to say? We suing. I know that's right. Thank you, Miss Pinky.
As the plot thickens, Jaguar Wright is stepping up and spilling the tea on both Will Smith and Diddy. Last year, folks thought she was just clout chasing, trying to drag Will's name through the mud. But now that everything's coming to light, fans are diving back into her YouTube rants and revisiting her explosive claims. With both Diddy and Will under fire for allegedly getting down with men, the big question is, were they getting down with each other too? And hold up, Gene Deal, Diddy's ex-bodyguard, is ready to drop some serious dirt. Not just on their rumored romance, but on all the wild freak shows those two have supposedly been hosting.
I know Puff so well that he stood up. When he stood up, he walked and did his own some kind of way, like, and then he went like this, you know, like, and I went over towards him. I know to go over there towards him. So I go over towards him, and he said to me, he said, yo, I think Will and Jada is trying to scoop up Jennifer.
All right, y'all, this is a whole lot to unpack, so let's break it down real quick. Diddy's in the hot seat with a mountain of allegations piling up, and as if that wasn't enough, Will Smith's name got dragged into the mix too. Folks connected to both of them are finally spilling the beans, and the chatter about a possible romance between Will and Diddy is heating up. Now, just a heads up, all of this is based on internet rumors, so keep your ears perked. Let's take it back to 1995, when Will Smith and Cherie Zampino decided to call it quits. The news spread like wildfire, and so did the gossip. Over the years, whispers circulated claiming Cherie caught Will in bed with another man. At the time, people brushed it off since Will went on to marry Jada Pinkett in '97 and has been with her ever since, painting him as straight. But deep down, many still feel like there's more to this story than meets the eye.
They're both bisexual, they do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills, Bashir Gray, left that house fucking screaming. August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick, he needed a dog.
In 2022, right after Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars, Jaguar Wright didn't hold back. She let her feelings about Will fly, and it spiraled into some serious revelations. According to her, both Will and Jada are bisexual and have some pretty wild antics going on at home. She even claimed that Will's got a secret gay club, drawing in young men who are allegedly mentored by him, but end up caught up in the darker side of the industry. Now, doesn't that sound familiar? It raises some eyebrows about whether this is just coincidence or if there's a deeper connection, especially since Diddy's facing similar accusations. It's no surprise that Will's name is popping up as Diddy's drama unfolds. There's a lot more to this story than we might have thought.
I'm here to set the record straight and let you know what happened in my marriage. And my marriage ended not over any infidelity. I didn't find Will in bed with a man. I didn't find him in bed with a woman. It just didn't happen. And Will was straight in 1992, and he's straight in 2016. So, that just kind of is what it is. However, our marriage ended because we were so young. We were the same age then as our son is now.
The whispers about Will's sexuality have been swirling for decades. But back in 2016, his ex-wife, Sherry Fletcher, came to his defense, claiming the rumors were nothing but lies. She insisted that their breakup was about something entirely different and emphasized that she never caught Will with a man or a woman during their marriage, despite all the gossip. It took her some time to finally share her side of the story, and while it was a noble move to stand up for him, that video hasn't aged too well given the avalanche of rumors hitting Will this year. As of now, Sherry hasn't dropped any new updates, but with more people stepping forward and throwing shade at the Smiths, Will's reputation is taking quite the hit. The saga just keeps getting wilder.
It was just a lot of weird shit going on, you know what I'm saying? The vibes ain't there. I guess that's what Tupac was talking about, the Illuminati and shit. It's like Vivica Fox was with this big gay man. He was 6'9". They called his name 6'9". He had the red hair with a big old booty and shit. Nobody was gay no more. What the fuck is going on here? It's just a lot of weird shit, dude. You know what I'm saying? That shit, it ain't right.
Of course, all these claims are still floating around as rumors without hard proof. But back in 2022, the Art of Dialogue channel had Keith D on. And let me tell you, he dropped some bombshells of his own. He shared that he attended a party he thought would be just a regular get-together, but it turned into something out of a bizarre movie. Will Smith and Jada Pinkett were among the star-studded guests, and Keith described the vibe as feeling like a gay Illuminati party. He said the whole night was just off, and he sensed that something wasn't right. These gay allegations are getting harder for Will to shake off, especially with eyewitnesses like Keith stepping forward. This isn't just idle gossip anymore, it's adding serious fuel to the fire, mirroring the wild accusations against Diddy. As this drama unfolds, more and more people seem to be siding with Jaguar and Keith. One thing's for sure, when it comes to the truth, it has a way of shining through the chaos. Shout out for shining a light on the dark corners of this industry. I love these videos where folks spill the tea about those wild parties with the usual suspects. Puff, Will Smith, Queen Latifah, you name it. It's always hilarious how they claim they're not gay and aren't down with that, yet they stick around like it's all good. Now, with Will's gay allegations swirling, we've got Duane Martin in the mix, and Cassie just came out saying Diddy had her sleep with male escorts while he watched and got his kicks off. Keith might just be onto something real here. And let's not forget, Tasha K dropped a bomb of her own with an interview featuring Bilal, a former assistant to Will, who claims he saw Will getting cozy with Duane Martin. That interview hit the streets just last November 2023, and it's still up for grabs, a whole 2-hour deep dive into the drama. This situation is getting spicier by the minute, and it's clear that the whispers are only getting louder.
Let me process that for a second.
There was a couch, and Will was bent over on the couch, and Duane was standing up, killing him. Murder, like murder. It was murder in there.
Bilal and Will Smith, they go way back, like 40 years deep. So, you know, Bilal's seen stuff that most folks can only dream of. Now, when this interview dropped, whoo, baby, people were in their feelings. Some folks came to Bilal saying, "How are you gonna put Will out there like that after 40 years of friendship?" But others, they were like, hold up now, imagine what the Smiths or anyone close to him must have done to Bilal to push him this far. Now, we might not know what exactly sent Bilal over the edge, but let's be real, his tea just added to the already mounting receipts against Will. From those wild freak-off parties to those whispers about him being into men, let's not forget the mess surrounding Will and Diddy's alleged affair and their track record, suspiciously similar, mentoring, more like grooming, honey, and don't sleep on those freak-off parties, because apparently they were going all the way left. Even Diddy's ex-bodyguard, Gene Deal, spilled the beans. Diddy kept receipts on everybody who stepped into his room. With Diddy being under the microscope right now, the authorities snatched up all that footage. And girl, the internet went crazy when somebody supposedly leaked one of those tapes. But of course, it got snatched down real quick. The source, still a mystery, but the ones who caught a glimpse, they swore up and down that Will Smith was right there in the middle of it all with Diddy. Now, could it all be fake? Maybe, but also maybe not. Only time will tell before this mess blows wide open. And at this point, everybody's playing detective, exposing Will and Diddy even more. Honey, these allegations, ooh baby, they're lining up like receipts. And let me tell you, it's only adding more fire to the already wild rumors swirling around them. As of right now, not a peep from the Smiths. They've been real quiet with all this drama unfolding. Now, sure, the Smiths could easily hit folks with a defamation lawsuit for spreading lies. They've got that kind of power for sure. They could intimidate anyone out here trying to drag their name, but let's keep it real. Since they're not making any moves yet, they're probably sitting back figuring out their next step carefully. Cause one slip up, and ooh child, it could either clear their name or blow the whole thing wide open. No matter what, the truth is creeping closer, especially as more celebs find themselves caught up in this Diddy situation.
One night when they were at home at Kim's house on 110th Street, he wanted to, put his hands on her in the wrong way. And Kim took one of those corkscrews and ripped his wrist up and hit an artery. And when she did that, he had to rush over to St. Luke's Hospital.
How are you doing this morning? How's it going, Justin? Quincy, how you feeling this morning? How the twins?
Kim Porter's kids are fed up with their mama's name being dragged through the mud online, with fans claiming their daddy Diddy allegedly had a hand in her passing. This wild rumor that Diddy ordered Kim's death has been swirling around social media for a hot minute. Things got extra spicy when Diddy got pinched, and the feds dropped the bomb that he supposedly put out hits to cover his tracks. The internet ran wild with this, especially after whispers about Kim's memoir hit the scene. Quincy, Christian, Jesse, and Delilah are calling straight cap on these rumors and the memoir chatter, insisting their mom never penned a book and that she truly succumbed to pneumonia. But the fans ain't buying it. The streets are buzzing that Diddy might have put his kids up to this to clear his name. So, what's really going down here? Did they just throw shade on their own family in that statement? Let's break this down, fam. It seems Kim Porter's kids ain't exactly on a mission for justice because they don't think there's any justice to chase down, since they believe she wasn't unalived in the first place. Honestly, we can't be shocked by their stance, They've been riding for Diddy ever since his downfall kicked off. Despite all the receipts dropped by his accusers in those civil lawsuits and the feds breathing down his neck, the kids are still 10 toes down for him, Quincy included, even though he ain't got no blood tied to Diddy. The boys showed up at Diddy's court hearings when he tried to get Billboard, got shut down.
How are you doing this morning? How's it going, Justin? Quincy, how are you feeling this morning? How the twins?
This clearly shows they're backing him through thick and thin. But here's the million-dollar question. Are they still down for him, knowing the streets are whispering that he might have unalived their mama? Looks like the answer is a solid yes, because the kids just dropped a joint statement denying that Diddy had anything to do with Kim's passing and begging folks to quit spreading these wild rumors. The statement said, "We have seen so many hurtful and false rumors circulating about our parents, Kim Porter and Sean Combs' relationship, as well as about our mom's tragic passing that we feel the need to speak out. Claims that our mom wrote a book are simply untrue. She did not, and anyone claiming to have a manuscript is misrepresenting themselves. Additionally, please understand that any so-called friend speaking on behalf of our mom or her family is not a friend, nor do they have her best interest at heart." They continue, "Our lives were shattered when we lost her mother. She was our world, and nothing has been the same since she passed. While it has been incredibly difficult to reconcile how she could have been taken from us too soon, the cause of her death has long been established. There was no foul play. Grief is a lifelong process, and we ask that everyone respect our request for peace as we continue to cope with her loss every day. We are deeply saddened that the world has made a spectacle of what has been the most tragic event of our lives. Our mother should be remembered for the beautiful, strong, kind, and loving woman she was. Her memory should not be tainted by horrific conspiracy theories." They ended the statement with, "We ask that everyone please respect our mother, Kim Porter, and hold her legacy in high regard so that she may rest in peace. It's what she deserves. We love you and miss you, Mommy, Quincy, Christian, Jesse, and Delilah. I ain't gonna front. My heart goes out to those kids, especially the twins, Jesse and Delilah. They're not just grappling with the loss of their mama. There's a real chance their only living parent could be facing some serious prison time. On top of all that, the rumor mill is wilting, whispering that their dad allegedly had a hand in their mom's passing. It's just too much to handle, and I can't even begin to imagine what they're going through. But on the flip side, fans are starting to think Diddy might have brainwashed them. Let's keep it real, Diddy wasn't exactly the best partner to Kim during their time together. His behavior was so out of control that Kim had to start fighting back, even landing her in the ER.
One night, when they were at home at Kim's house on 110th Street, he wanted to, put his hands on her in the wrong way. And Kim took one of those corkscrews and ripped his wrist up and hit an artery. And when she did that, he had to rush over to St. Luke's Hospital.
It was a straight up toxic situation, and there are even reports saying he broke her nose. This article about the incident dropped some serious details, claiming that Diddy's temper was out of control and he wasn't holding back. Diddy Combs' girlfriend Kim Porter was left with a broken nose after the couple argued on Combs' yacht in Saint-Tropez. Combs flew in a specialist plastic surgeon from Geneva after the accident. Porter has since claimed that she hurt her face after she banged her nose on the table. It just keeps getting worse, y'all. Several insiders are saying Diddy even put hands on Kim's boyfriend after she moved on from him. An insider spilled the tea, reporting that Kim was seeing Shakir and Diddy found out and he went ape. He tracked Shakir down to his hotel. Then Diddy went up there without security and fucked him to a bloody pulp. Don't let the shiny suits and curls fool you. Diddy will man up. A few weeks later, Shakir mysteriously ended. It gets even messier, fam. Fingers were pointed right at Diddy when Kim passed, even though there's no solid proof he did anything. The twins were just little babies back then, so they probably didn't grasp what was happening. But Quincy was old enough to witness some of it, which has fans scratching their heads over why he's still riding for Diddy, especially since Diddy ain't even his biological father. Either these kids have an unbreakable bond with Diddy or they've been seriously brainwashed. And peep this, y'all remember how the kids insisted Kim wasn't working on a memoir? Well, Kim's ex and Quincy's biological dad, Al B. Sure, is singing a different tune. In a series of explosive Instagram posts, he claimed that Kim's memoir manuscript and her laptop went missing the very day she passed, calling it a straight up F. He said, D. Miss Porter's missing devices, allegedly already in evidence, unquestionably contained the critical evidence that had been concealed. I'm convinced that evidence corroborates closely with details outlined in the recently released public indictment document. Additionally, it is pertinent to note that the individuals involved in this matter may also be connected to also concealing the alleged fuck of several prominent artists, a situation that has left many bewildered, yet those who are immersed in the culture and familiar with the intricacies of the entertainment industry may have a clearer understanding of the obvious. While he also called out the so-called memoir making the rounds as fake, he insisted that Kim was definitely working on one and that she was allegedly fucked because of it. He wrote, "Unfortunately, Kimberly was taken away from us too soon, and before she could complete her true thoughts before this fake, unauthorized edit released on Amazon, which the disappearance of her computer and vital evidence raises significantly more questions. It is evident that her potential to expose the realities of her personal being and human she was privy to, akin to the brave actions of Mrs. Cassie Ventura, pose a threat to those profiting from such heinous activities. In a nutshell, Kimberly was allegedly taken from us because she was set on course to accomplish what Mrs. Cassie Ventura did by igniting the bonfire, which brings us here today with the avalanche that has brought Satan to their chambers. Either Diddy's kids are out here covering for their dad, or they genuinely believe he's innocent of all the charges and claims stacked against him. Fans have been buzzing, commenting, I understand they're hurt and in pain, but all of that stuff isn't a lie. In addition, would she actually tell her kids all about her love and a life? Of course she wouldn't. With all due respect to his family, their mother deserves justice. As does Pac, Biggie, Kid Cudi, Erica Kennedy, Aubrey O'Day, Usher, Justin Bieber. The darn list is endless. Let the investigation fall where it may. I'll be sure to say it himself. She was working on a book, so talk to your dad, Quincy. You also brainwashed that your dad extra mom out and you all don't want to believe it. Then kids must be devastated. They already lost their mother, now their dad and their whole lavish lifestyle. That's sad. I pray for them.